All right, it's May 31st, 2020, and this is our first tour of the flower garden this year, which I'm not in control of. The boss is here, so she will give the tour.
Some parts are better than others. Okay, this is not quite in bloom yet, but this is valerian, which is one of my favorites.
Stay within 3 feet of the mic for me.
It smells really, really good.
That's the valerian?
Valerian.
Valerian with an N?
With an N. These are just starting to open. These are little Coreopsis. And behind it is a campanula and a columbine.
Columbine. Okay.
Don't step on my hens and chicks.
Hens and chicks.
Hens and chicks. I got little hens and chicks. This is the creeping phlox, which is just starting to really get finished.
Okay.
And then we're going to move this way. These are little flag irises. They're almost done for this season.
Flag?
Flag.
F-L-A-G. Okay.
Yeah, and this is some more. Oh, this is a geranium. I misspoke over there. Not a campanula. This is a geranium. This is with the purple. The ones in the back lower. This is a columbine, and the ones in the back lower. A type of geranium. Not the type of geranium people think of when they buy geraniums. This is a real geranium. Then the peonies are going to open probably fairly soon.
They're like those balls on the top there, right? The bush in the back?
And in the back you can see there's some white flowers, so that's a clematis.
Clematis, right? That bloomed early this year, right? And you let it grow over the year.
Well,
you let it grow over winter.
I did not cut it back over winter, and it survived.
All right.
This is a dwarf
easy for you to say.
Artemisia, I think. Okay, and then the lime green ones are going to be. Every year I forget the names of the plants.
It's because, we're slipping.
We are slipping.
This is what we do when we're slipping, is we garden more.
Yeah.
God,
it's
right.
Anise hyssop.
Okay.
There we go.
Not easy for you to say again.
Okay. And this is a little sage.
Sage. All right.
And a flowering sage, ornamental sage, not a culinary one. These are butterfly bushes, which I pruned back pretty hard, but they're looking really good.
And those work, for reference, they become huge, annoying, take over your garden kind of plants. But oh my God, do the butterflies love them?
The butterflies love them.
All right.
So there in the back is some valerian is starting to open, and our one remaining rose plant.
One remaining rose.
Abraham Darby.
Abraham Darby, boy, did they, first couple of years we had those in, people would stop along the street just to look at them. They were so incredible. And then the creatures got to them and blah.
Well, the Japanese beetles
wiped
the saw-whet flies. And then we have a bleeding heart here, but behind the bleeding heart, once this gets done, I'll cut this back.
A bleeding heart.
Right. I've got white and pink, and I've got fringed.
Fringed?
This is a fringed bleeding heart.
Oh, how weird.
And then there's sedums behind it.
Sedum. I see them, but I don't believe them.
These back here are daylilies.
Walnuts. Reference. Okay.
In the back there, when it blooms, will be globe thistle.
What are the big leafy ones? The grassy ones here?
Oh, daylilies.
Daylilies, yeah.
And back there's globe thistle and
what big sweeping collection
Culvert's root, Scarlet Monarda.
That's that whole thing is Monarda? That whole thing?
A lot of it, yeah.
The whole thing along the back? Okay.
Most of it.
Wow.
This is an yeah. Oh my gosh, this is my turtle.
Yeah, turtle.
Harvey. Okay, and this is a stilby.
Stilby.
Yes, this is beard tongue. It hasn't flowered yet, but it's beautiful when it does.
Beard tongue.
And we know we don't have any rabbits right now because rabbits love to eat beard tongue.
And if Dad sees the rabbits, lock and load, baby.
So another sedum. The geranium's a little floppy. This needs to get cut back or hooped.
Somebody needs to get the hoops out of the. Oh, okay, keep going.
Okay, and those are going to be Heliopsis in the back with Scarlet Monarda, and another chocolate Monarda is the one.
That darker one along the fence?
The darker one in the back along the fence. Some more sage.
Okay.
Bleeding hearts and corabills mixed in with Monarda. And now we start to get into, this is rose companion.
It's not a weed?
No, when it decides to bloom, it will be very pretty.
Okay.
It looks like a weed, I agree. This is Joe Pye weed, which is not a weed. This is all culverts root back here. I have 2 or 3 different types. It's looking good. And behind that in flower is Solomon Seal.
Oh, that's the one with the hangers on.
Right, yeah, that'll be done blooming soon. More creeping phlox. And now we get into beard tongue land. So
Is that word
monkshood.
infillification? Phloxinoxa infillification. It's a good long word. One of the longest words.
What's that bug doing on there?
What's that bug doing on there? Get that little bastard off of there.
What's that doing there? Oh, I've got to come back. At the end of the tour, I'll come back and do that. This is a big foxglove. That'll be beautiful when it blooms. Monk's hood is this big patch here with more sage in front of it. Monk's hood is a very poisonous plant, so you have to be careful with that one. These are Puchera. Puchera, but I forget the common name for it. And a little anise hyssop. And then Glenn will be happy to know that back here, today I transplanted 5 of the Coreopsis that I stole the seeds from the zoo, which Glenn calls thievery. So I weeded that area and I got the Coreopsis in.
For all the rioters in Chicago destroyed.
They should be about 3 feet high.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they should be good.
Delicious.
And then,
so what's all the reedy stuff there?
daffodils.
Daffodils, which are spent.
Right, okay.
And that's Solomon Seal on the fence?
Right, more Solomon Seal. Big patch of bleeding hearts, and these will be black-eyed Susans. This is a very nice black-eyed Susan.
There's the bleeding hearts and
black-eyed Susans when they come up. So after a while, I'll cut the bleeding hearts down, and the black-eyed Susans will come up.
Got it.
And then we have a Heliopsis, and a bigger in the back is a bigger form of a scarlet monarda that's really pretty. More Heliopsis, more rose companion, and then 3 different Russian sages, another clematis, a very strangly looking, horrible looking hydrangea. What's going on with that thing? This side is my shade garden. So we've got a miniature Solomon Seal down here. These are starting to get a little tired, but this is Virginia Bluebell.
Okay.
This is something that I can't remember the name of, but this is a great plant. I will remember it for the next tour.
Someday.
Yes. Very big. Blue Angel hostas.
Wow, the deer will wipe those out if the deer are.
And behind that, you can see we have a really nice collection of Jack in the Pulpits, a very big variety. You can see those, yes. And this is a dwarf Alberta spruce, this thing, which is not so dwarf anymore.
Yeah, it's getting bigger every year.
I think we planted that.
Well, didn't it come with us, or did we plant that?
No, I think we planted
You picked that out. So
Your
it's about 20 years old.
Your mother one time gave us a Christmas present of a dwarf Alberta spruce in a pot. And that is either this one or that one.
I think it's.
I think it might be this
This one, yeah.
And then last year, 2 years ago, we gave this, I guess this is an Arborvitae, whatever this foundation plant is, a really hard cutback, and it looked horrible last year. And I'm really happy to see that we're getting some good growth on it right now. And more Monk's hood. This is when the neighbor had his daughter over here walking around in my garden. I pointed out that this was a very poisonous plant, and they never came back. This is a creeping Jenny, which I have to keep under control.
Yeah, that does get crazy when it wants.
Yeah, and then you see this is the Puchera. It's a nicer color in the shade.
Oh yeah.
There's also a foam flower down here, Tiarella. And more like little Johnny jump ups are coming up. It's not poison ivy, it's Johnny jump ups. These are my beloved primroses. They're a little funky. I hit them primroses. I hit them too hard with the hose. More Stilby, and note more miniature goat's beard. That's what this is. I forgot the name of it before. This is miniature goat's beard. Yeah. This corner is doing very well.
Okay.
I'm happy with that. So this is the little shade
One of the monstrous rhododendrons that we.
Yeah, I tried pruning it.
I tried to prune it. Oh my god.
More Tiarella, more Johnny jump ups. Oh my gosh, this is bloodroot. It gets a little flower underneath. You can see the bud. There's the bud. It's actually a very poisonous plant.
Catching a theme here?
This is May apple. Where's May apple, the poisonous one? Anyway, don't eat anything.
Don't eat anything in this garden.
Right, and then a very big. This is like a. What? How tall is this, Tim?
3 feet at least. What's now? It's pushing 4 feet.
4 foot tall bleeding heart.
Wow.
And they kind of just take over this whole corner.
Which is okay.
Which is okay.
Alright, and another old shrubby.
Rhododendron, I started pruning.
Which kind is this here?
Well, they're hostas. Oh, these were my trilliums, which looked fantastic this year. They're done right now, and there's a little underneath here is a lemon lime hosta, and then I have oh, what are these things called? These things. They're starting to fade now. These are really early bloomers.
In the deep shade underneath this bush.
Yeah, and more sunflower and mollusk. What's the name of this thing? Ay. Okay, next tour.
They'll come back, you know, or we'll have to compare this for the next couple of years and see how things kind of fade off, right? All right.
How we fade off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the rhodey flower. Come on, let's not be overwashed here. That's a rhodey.
Pretty. Yeah.
All right, so that's it. End of tour, May 31st, 2020. That's the flower garden.